Hello, my name is Anna Leo, and I am applying for the job position of instructional designer at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Thank you for listening, and I am honored to be considered for this position. Welcome to today's workshop, where the topic is about using the ARCS model to improve student motivation. The ARCS model uses attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction as four main elements of learning motivation. Dr. John Keller developed this model in 1987. He is a professor emeritus at FSU and an educational researcher in the field of instructional design. When Dr. Keller introduces the ARCS model, he guides educators to answer some basic questions before he fully explains the model. And I hope that you can answer these questions as I read them to you. First, educators should contemplate their students and their classroom structure. Are your students high schoolers, undergraduates, or graduates? Is your classroom a traditional in-class environment? Is it online, or is it a combination? And finally, reflect on a lesson that you really enjoyed and a lesson that you did not enjoy at all. What made those lessons so interesting or so boring? By identifying the motivational variables, or these answers to these questions, Dr. Keller suggests that this stimulates and sustains learner curiosity and motivation for the instructional strategies he uses within the ARCS model. Actually, answering these questions is the implementation of the first step of the model, which is attention. And as I go through these four elements, I encourage you to form your own thoughts and opinions about the ARCS model. So I may pause for a few seconds for you to develop your questions, impressions, or thoughts. Let's get started. Attention captures learners' interest and stimulates their curiosity to learn. Educators can implement three subcomponents of attention in their instructional strategies. So I used perceptual arousal, which is using this picture. Hopefully it captured your curiosity. Another one is variability, using interesting or surprising examples. And finally, inquiry arousal, which is a fancy way of saying asking students for challenging or thought-provoking questions as a beginner in your lesson. The next element is relevance. How is this content relevant to your students? Educators should think of ways to relate the lesson content to the learner's personal goals, as this may foster a sense of connectedness to the content. Confidence is the third element. When was the last time you gauged your students' level of confidence before presenting the lesson? Identify whether your learners feel either inadequate or overly confident in a lesson. This can be giving them examples of success, providing them immediate feedback, or scaffolding new content, which will encourage the students' confidence and improve their motivation. Satisfaction is the last step. This is where the best outcome is when the learners and hopefully the educators are satisfied with the process of learning and hopefully will lead to continuous learning. Satisfaction may be a result of intrinsic rewards such as self-esteem, competence in a newly acquired skill, or extrinsic rewards such as grades and verbal feedback. Examples may include offering some small opportunities to succeed and consistency in lesson standards. The ARCS model is a best practices design approach because it reflects the core of effective teaching practices such as user-centered models and incorporating motivation and emotion. And this is by encouraging student self-regulation, deep thinking processes, and providing balanced yet challenging coursework. Successful implementation of the ARCS model may require teachers to restructure their lessons to include the best practices approach. And while the ARCS model is well acknowledged for its user-centered approach, educators should consider their own students and adapt their teaching methods to include all of their students' needs. If you wish to learn more, you can read Dr. Keller's article listed here on the page. I created this infographic using Canva a few days ago for an assignment in my summer class in Web and Design at FSU. I chose the ARCS model because it is important and simple, and it also helped me further prepare for my career goal as an instructional designer, and it also helped with my interview assignment with University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Again, thank you for listening to my workshop, and I am honored to be considered for this job position. I look forward to our interview on May 31st at 4 p.m. Thank you.